Hello. In this seminar, our fourth seminar, we're going to be going through what's inside of the Apostolic Bible Polyglot, the downloaded edition, the CD-ROM, and the printed edition. And we will go through the introduction and point out the different features of the Apostolic Bible.
The introduction, as can be found in the beginning of the Apostolic Bibles, begins with the Apostolic Bible description, and then it goes into the Greek scriptures. The Greek scriptures are basically what we mentioned earlier, not so much in detail, but it's going back into the history of the Greek and the Hebrew. And then it goes into the canon. The canon of the Apostolic Bible, Old Testament, follows the Hebrew canon, and the New Testament follows the later King James, the earlier King James. I have one, 1790s, actually had the Apocrypha called the Deuterocanonicals, and we didn't omit them on purpose, but they may be added someday. Then the introduction continues, and it goes down into the Apostolic Bible Greek text. We went through that earlier when we explained about the different first printed editions of the Apostolic Bible, an earlier seminar. Then it goes in the Apostolic Bible structure. And begins with the AB strong numbering system. When you go into the actual text, you can see right here that there's numbers above every Greek word. There's one right there and next to them. And these numbers are AB, the Strong's numbers. If they have a decimal in there, find one here that's got a decimal. And those are words that I coded myself. Here's one right here. And when you see the decimal, it only appears in the Old Testament. Otherwise, it could be in either Testament. James Strong numbered the Hebrew Old Testament, not the Greek. And then we continue on down, and it goes into section headings, chapters, and verses. And again, going back, you can see here that we've got the book and then the chapter, and then the section headings were created by myself and Terry Nyman, and then the chapters and the verses. And I like this way we have it here. It's kind of nifty where you see the actual chapter and the verse. You don't have to look up at the top, figure out what chapter that you're in. Then goes after the section headings. It goes into the footnotes, and then all the abbreviations of all the footnotes. And footnote, I believe, appears right here at the bottom of the first page, and it is right there. In 114, the Complutensian Polyglot has these other Greek words, so as to shine. And then if you would go up into 14, you'll find that little dagger someplace there, and that's the word we circled, is phavsine, giving light. So the footnotes add add variance, and also CBOS for variance, which is a 1709 scanned edition that we have available on CD-ROM that has just about every variant in the footnote section that was put together by Lambert Bose in 1709. Then it goes into the accent marks and pronunciations. The Apostolic Bible English doesn't have quotation marks, and the Greek Bible doesn't have any marks at all. Accent marks are just dots put above the Greek vowel to give emphasis on how to pronounce it. More or less how they do it today. And the original manuscripts had no accent marks at all, so we're actually going closer to the original than today. The bracket structures and hyphen structures, as you see here, are exactly what they say. And the we can go into Genesis here, and here's a hyphen struffer, epon o theos, 20, 36, 35, 88, and 23, 16. And God said, it would actually literally be epon, said the God. And so these are put together, and the number actually corresponds to the word below it, but the English is different. And here it's backwards, what it would be in the Greek. And then there are, over here, bracket structures where you have 1 and 2, the third day. You follow the number, like the old movies with follow the bouncing ball. Then after the pronunciation, goes into some supplementary explanations of things like collective nouns and proper names, like where the word for tetragrammaton in the Old Testament, Yahweh, the translators used Kyrios, which appears in the New Testament as Lord. Interesting thing to study on the usage of the Kyrios in the New Testament compared to the Greek Old Testament, which it corresponds to. Then we go on down and it gets into plants and animals, and then the English-Greek index. The English-Greek index is right here, and you can see where you have an English word and a Greek word below it. If you can find an English word, then it'll tell you which Greek word it is, and the 3195 is the number. If there's more than one down here, that means that this epano 1883 appears under all of these words, and they all appear in the Apostolic Bible. Sometimes more than one word is necessary, like the Greek word for an animal grazing and a person having supper is the same. You wouldn't say a person grazed or a cow had supper. So sometimes you have to have these different forms, different English words for the one Greek word. The continuity would be nice to have it always the same, but sometimes it just doesn't work that way. Then, after the Greek-English index, it went into the lexical concordance, and that's the last part of our Bible, and here it is right here. And you can see all these, the Greek word, and there's the number and the English explanation, and then all the places that the word avra appears. We'll just go down and find one here. It's abyssos, the abyss, 12, and appears in Genesis 1:2. So let's go back to Genesis and see if we can find it. We'll scroll up here to the top. We look at 1:2, and there it is right there. Avisu in the genitive, number 12. So you can do a study this way by looking up the English word, find the number, then go into the lexical concordance and go to all the locations and find out more by the context of what that word means, by the context. And then after that, it just goes goes into a list of 50 words that in the lexical concordance that doesn't have the locations. It just says the word because they just appear in thousands of places, like and, up, in, all the prepositions. Then there's a brief statement on about the Apostolic Bible, and errata and revisions, and then an acknowledgement. And this is what you would find in all of our editions. And our next seminar will be going through the analytical lexicon and grammar, which are separate works that don't appear in the Bibles but can be purchased on our site, apostolicbible.com. I hope that you will join us, and God bless.